Hello, my beautiful friends. Hope you're doing amazing. Today, we're going to be doing another makeup and movies here on my channel, if that's something you'd be interested in. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Audrey. Thank you so much for being here. Please consider subscribing down below before you leave. We talk about makeup over here. I'm just a mom who loves makeup, and that's what we do. And if you're returning, hi, hello, welcome. I love and appreciate you. And if you're interested in any of the products that I talk about or anything that I put on my face, everything is always linked down in the description box. Some of those links are affiliated links, and that just means if you choose to shop through them, I do receive a small commission at no extra cost to you. But if you don't want to shop through the links, just watching the video in itself is support. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so Makeup and Movies episode 2. Today we are going to be talking about A Quiet Place Day 1. So I went to theaters and watched this with my husband. And we're just going to chat about it, and I'll let you know my thoughts, how I felt, the movie, all that. I probably won't mention most of the products that I talk about because I'm going to be rambling about the movie. So all of it's down in the description box, or feel free to ask in the comments or anything like that. And it's very hot here in Idaho, so might be doing a very light makeup look. But so there will be spoilers, just so you're aware. If you have not seen the movie and you'd rather go watch the movie first and then come back and watch my video, that would be awesome. Or we can chat about it today and you can go watch the video. I'm not somebody, I just watch tons of reviews. I think, honestly, for me at least, when I watch and look for reviews on a movie on YouTube, if I've already decided if I'm going to watch the video by the time I click on a review, right? So even if it has spoilers in it, I'm still going to watch the review because I'm still going to watch the movie, I guess. But not everybody's like that. So, spoilers ahead. Okay. So, going into this movie, all I knew, and this is like in the Quiet Place world, so we will be talking about the first two movies a teeny bit if you haven't seen those. So, going into this movie, I knew that it was part of A Quiet Place, the world of A Quiet Place. And it was called Day 1, so I assume a prequel. I knew it took place in a city, based on the trailer and the picture on the cover. And I knew, what else did I know? I knew, I did know a really big spoiler going into the movie was that the cat didn't die. Which actually, when you watch the movie, is a very I probably would have been a lot more on edge had I not known if the cat was going to die or not. So there's that first very big spoiler. But I mean, I kind of assumed the cat would die, so, but it doesn't. That's all I knew going into the movie. Oh, did I mention the actors? I knew the two main actors in the movie, and I knew that I really enjoyed the guy who plays Eric from Stranger Things. So I was really excited for the actors in this film. I was also super excited because I really, really love the Quiet Place. A Quiet Place, the first movie and the second movie. I really, really like them both. I didn't watch either one of those movies in theaters. I watched them at my house, which I guess is a very different experience than in theaters because I heard stories from my friends who watched A Quiet Place in theaters first. But I watched them at my home, and I love those movies. I think they're super well done. I really, really like John Krasinski and his wife now that her name is escaping me. they do an incredible job. They're really, really good, and I think they're incredible actors, and I really, really like the first two movies. Okay, so my phone decided to disconnect from my monitor just willy-nilly for fun, so sorry about that. What was I saying? Oh, yes, I really like the first two movies. I still, uh, to this day, with my husband, always make sure that I am either in the front or the back, and then my husband is in the front or the back of our children when we go anywhere. I have quite a few children, and yeah, that's because of that movie. I I love the franchise. I think it's super well done. I really, really enjoy it a lot. So, I guess you could say I had high expectations for this movie. So, um, Quiet Place, day one. It starts off with the main character. Um, she has cancer. Now, I am not sure what type of cancer. I tried to Google it, but I couldn't figure out what type of cancer she had. Just know that she has a type of cancer where she has to put a patch on her back. Let me know if you know what type of cancer she has in the comments, because I tried to find it, but I couldn't find it. But she has a terminal cancer, and um, you get the hint that she doesn't have any family. She is in a hospice situation and doesn't have family members to help take care of her, which is unfortunate. And you get from the very beginning, you get that she's pretty upset with life. So, I really enjoyed her character. I kind of like how, I mean, I really enjoy when it comes to end of the world apocalypse movies, um, everything's changing type of movies. I like seeing different perspectives. From The Walking Dead, one of my favorite characters is Nick, and he's an addict. And to see how he has to maneuver the end of the world is really interesting to me. So I really, really enjoyed having a character that is not just like totally healthy, that actually has some health problems, and seeing how she maneuvered the end of the world, right? I thought that was a really cool touch. It was kind of sad, but I mean, it's sad now if it's not the end of the world. So sad happens all over all the time. So I thought that was a really cool touch. I think that she acted a phenomenal job. She was very good in this movie. I actually took a couple notes while I was in the theater, in the dark. um, and there was a couple moments in the movie where I was just like, biting my nails. I like had a actual physical response to, at one point, that main actress, her name's Sam. Her name's Sam, and her cat's name is Frodo. Her cat that she has to have, it's her companion cat. Why does I forget what they're called. Anyways, her cat that goes everywhere with her, that's on a leash. The cat's name is Frodo, which I thought was really, really cool. Sam and Frodo from Lord of the Rings. Yeah, I thought it was awesome. But Sam is who you start following throughout the film. And I like made an actual physical response at one point when she was like stuck under a car. I can't even imagine being in those situations and not being able to make a noise. Like oh my gosh. Being quiet is not something I'm good at. It's not my strong suit. I'd probably be one of the first to go in a Quiet Place storyline, because I'm just not good at being silent, which is what you have to do. And I don't know sign language, but I think that would be a super awesome skill to have. But I there was points in this movie where I really was like drawn in. It was very intense. Um, so I did like the intense parts. I did like how the character of Sam was really portrayed, and how she was sick, and seeing her navigate that, I thought that was really cool. And so there was a couple parts in the movie that I thought were super awesome. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. So, one of the issues that I had, I mean, it's towards the beginning, so we'll talk about it here. Like it's called Quiet Place Day 1. And I was assuming that we would see more of how they learn how to maneuver the monsters. Or not, I mean, they know how to maneuver the monsters when we watch them. I mean, I thought we would see more of how they figure out that you have to be silent. I don't feel like it's that like plain Jane of an idea. I don't know. So I was thinking we would see more trial and error of how they figured out that you have to be silent and these monsters hear really super well, right? Instead, our main character, Sam, gets like in a huge car accident and gets knocked out, and then all of a sudden she wakes up and everyone around her in the movie theater knows she has to be silent. So they make her be silent. And I'm like, how did you figure that out? How did the helicopter guys that go over the city, how did they figure it out? I was expecting more of them trying to figure out. I thought that's what the movie was going to be about, right? I thought day 1 would be about, okay, we're going to see them learning how to stay alive, and how these monsters, aliens, whatever, how they figured out that they like navigate to sound, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's not that hard. We do see John Krasinski kind of figure it out in the first movie, no, second movie, in that flashback in the second movie. I don't know. I just kind of thought that's what the premise of the movie would be more about. And like, did the aliens start in New York? Because it's like super loud, and it shows in the beginning of the movie how New York like runs at 90 something, the sound of a scream, right? Like all the time. Is that where the aliens started? And then because it was like the loudest place? I don't know. These are my questions, and they were not answered. So I was expecting a little bit more story of that and the aliens, and how did they figure out they don't go on water? We don't get to see any of how they figured that out. Just get on the boats and they don't follow you, I guess. I don't know. But how did they notice that? I don't know. I wanted to see more of that. More learning about the creatures versus getting knocked out and waking up and all of a sudden everyone knows you have to be silent. So, but that was one gripe that I had. So then you meet, she gets woken up from her car accident, and she's with a good friend, but wasn't her friend. She was kind of mean to him, a nurse from her hospice place, and he ends up getting killed by one of the monsters. And he's a pretty good actor too. He's from Hereditary. So he like ends up, I forgot what makeup I was doing. Not the right order. Okay, I need blush. So he ends up getting eaten to show us, the audience, that like one teeny tiny little sound, like the ripping of a shirt, is going to make it so you get eaten by these monsters. So it's showing us you have to be extremely 100% silent. So there's that. Her friend gets eaten and she's sad. Her cat doesn't get eaten. And she's sad about it, and then she decides she's going to go get pizza because it's a memory with her father. And I mean, I thought that was really cool. I can really respect that. And the fact that she knows she's probably going to die because she has cancer and she's not going to be able to get the medicine that she needs, I think that is a really awesome part of the story. That it was really cool, really well done. But I didn't think it was going to be the main part of the story. and it was the whole plot of the story was find the pizza, which, I mean, turned out all right in the long run, but I was expecting more about the monsters, like I mentioned. So there's that. So we are on our way to find the pizza with our main character, Sam, and Frodo, and that's when we meet Eric. And you don't know anything about him except he comes up out of the subway that's completely flooded, right? And I thought it was really cool, really interesting. And the cat was a nice touch because the cat, Frodo, finds him, and then she finds Sam from following the cat, and yeah, then they meet. And I thought that was really cool. And he doesn't have any family in the United States, so he decides he's going to help her, which I think is super awesome because it makes sense. Somebody else also, I'm always concerned if the end of the world happens and I'm not with my kids. What if I'm on vacation and it's the end of the world? That would not be good. But if he's in school, his family's in England, and he has no idea if they're alive, no way to contact them, anything. And so, he connects to the first person he finds who seems like a good person. And I think that's awesome. I think that makes for really good storytelling. I think these two finding each other and helping each other out makes for a very good plot. I kind of wish it was more about, more than like pizza, but it makes sense, It makes sense, and he helps her find the pizza, and then he goes on to survive. But yeah, so I saw a few people, a lot of, I watch quite a few movie review channels, and I saw a few people saying that they didn't think that, I don't know, that it didn't make sense to them that Eric would be so nice. I thought that was wild. I didn't even question the fact that he's all alone and he doesn't have anybody and he wants to stick with this person that he found and he wants to help her. I didn't even question it. It makes sense to me. It shows human compassion in a time when, everyone's scared. No one has any idea what's happening. There's crazy monsters. Like, I thought it portrayed really well how we need people. And I don't know. You would like to think that people would be kind like that to you if you were in a hard situation. So I didn't think it was weird. I didn't think it was unnatural or anything. It just made sense. Made sense to me. That they would help each other because, yeah, I really like to think people are good. They're not always, but I really like to think the best in people. And I thought that that was really incredible how he was willing to help her and stay with her, and he had nobody else. So what else was he going to do? Um, I really enjoyed how, and it was touched in a little bit in the other movies, but when there was like a thunderstorm, I really thought that was really cool. They were able to yell and scream during the thunderstorm. I thought that was awesome. And I mean, what else are you gonna do? I thought it was really, really cool. Um, that added part, right? I thought it really added to the story. Um, and so I can't remember. I wanted to touch on, I thought it was really awesome. I wanted to touch on the scene where they're in the water and they're in the subway tunnels. I don't remember if it is before or after they find the pizza. Um, but I feel like they're on their way to the pizza. I don't know. But anyways, they're in the subway tunnels, and I thought that the way that they showed Eric's PTSD of the water was incredible. As someone who has experienced a little bit of like post-traumatic symptoms, I thought that that was super, super well done. And I could tell immediately what was going on, and what was trying to be portrayed, which I thought was incredible. Amazing acting on his part. Like, it was really, really well done. I thought that it was super good. The portrayal of PTSD in the subway tunnel when they're in the water. Like, man. Which I think had to do with the fact that he was, when we found him, he came up out of the water. But that was my personal take on it. I don't know if that was, the director's intention, but that's what I thought it was, and I thought it was really well done. We kind of learn how the aliens eat, I guess, ish. They make their own food. They don't eat the humans. They just make their own weird looking egg food things. I don't know. I think that's what was happening. It was showing us how they eat, because they don't eat the humans they kill. Which is, so interesting. I really want to know. I really hope that, I just like to know what's happening. I hope that maybe in the next movie, they decide to show us a little bit of where they came from, maybe why they're here, or how they got here, or any kind of information like that. But they don't have to. They can if they want. I just think that would be interesting. I want to know how they got here and things like that. Why can't they hear? But and I thought, so when they get to the pizza place that she's been looking for, it's all burnt down and super sad, and she's really sad, and then they find another place. Actually, I think so the pizza place is burned down, but the place that she used to go where her dad used to play piano, it's not burnt down. So they go and they don't play the piano, because that would be dumb. But they pretend they play the piano, and he gets her a different pizza from a different place, which is, super sweet. It's really, really kind. And you can maneuver this world safely as long as you're silent. You can pretty much do anything. Obviously, they don't get eaten by the aliens. they just survive for that little while they're in the bar, I think, drinking and having pizza. And then he does a magic trick, and it's fun, and she's having a good time. And then since they've got the pizza, now it's crunch time. And now they have to go. Yeah, now they have to go and find him safety, but not her. She's not coming. So after that, they go and she's gonna help him get to a boat, right? It's very sweet, and they're like trying to figure out what they're gonna do. And she gives him her sweater and her kitty cat, and then he makes a run for it towards the water while she knocks out all the cars and makes a lot of noise so the aliens don't go after him. And my husband and I both were waiting for her. I was, and my husband too. We were waiting for her to yell. Like as soon as he got to the edge of the dock, I was like, she's gonna wait. She's gonna wait to yell, kind of like, actually, I mean, like John Krasinski's character did in the first one. I was waiting for her to yell, which I think would have been a really cool callback to the first one. And it would have got their attention at the very, very end. And yeah, she would have made sure he got to the end and into the water. But I guess she didn't want to necessarily get eaten by the aliens or killed by the aliens. She just wanted to make sure that he got there so she didn't scream. So because it shows us afterwards and she's like living life and listening to her music. So maybe she should have gone with him, but whatever. And then he gets to safety with the kitty cat. Oh yes, and then I didn't realize until I got home that night that the gentleman who was with her at the movie theater, who happens to be the one on the boat that helps Eric into the boat, he's the guy from the second movie on the island. So he kind of ties in the second movie. So I wonder if we'll see the island in the next movie. Probably, but we know that his character, I think his character gets off in the second movie. I don't really remember. It's been a long time since I watched the second one. I watched the first one a couple times, but I thought it was a little annoying and weird that the that the note that he pulled out of his pocket wasn't wet. So she wrote him a note. Sam did. A poem, actually, because she writes poems. That's what she did. Or did. Yeah, did before. She wrote poems, and she wrote him kind of like a poem and put it in the sweater pocket that she gave him. But then he jumped in the water, and then he got saved, and then the note is totally fine. Not wet or ruined or hard to read at all. Which I thought was a little weird, but I don't know if anybody even caught that except me. See, those are those weird little nitpicky things. But it was very cute, and I really like how, the cat made it. Oh, yes, I was going to mention, I thought this was incredible. I actually talked to my sister-in-law about it after the movie. So there was one part where I just, the power that animals have to change our mood is crazy. And it's really, really interesting to me. And they're a gift. Like, there's one part in this movie where Eric, he's freaking out and he's running from the monsters and he's scared and he's like, I think it was when he was looking for her medicine to give her so she can make it to the pizza. And he's all freaked out. And then I think the monster leaves. What are they calling them? Death angels? I don't know. the monsters in the quiet place, the ones who can hear super good but can't see, it leaves. I think he gets away from it at least, and then the cat, like the cat surprises him, and he thinks it might be the monster, and he's just holding the cat and smiling, like smiling, because in the middle of the end of the world where there's aliens all around you, the way that that cat could make him smile in that moment, I thought was really good movie making. It really showed you that, that cat was able to make him feel okay and safe when it was an absolutely terrifying experience and moment. So I thought that was really cool. I don't know how I feel about this lipstick right now. Maybe I need a lip liner with it. Kind of feeling washed out. But yeah, so I enjoyed parts. I thought that it was a good movie, and it would have been a really good, like, standalone movie. I don't really think it had a lot to do with the Quiet Place franchise, I guess. I just don't, we learned like one teeny little thing about the aliens, right? I just was expecting a little bit more about the aliens, and if this would have been like a completely on its own new scary movie about aliens from a different planet, like, I think it could have stood on its own, if that makes sense. I don't know how much it added to the franchise, but it was a very, very good, well done movie. Definitely worth the watch. I would recommend it. I would recommend it. Am I dying to go see it again? Not necessarily. I've seen other movies recently that I enjoy a lot more. But it was better than The Watchers. So, kind of, The Watchers is like, one of the worst movies I've seen this year so far. And I've seen Imaginary. So, and I thought Watchers was worse than that. But, I think Quiet Place Day 1 is definitely worth the watch. It wasn't as quiet though, too. I have heard a few people talk about how, like, and I wasn't there, I didn't experience this. I did not see the other movies in theaters. But it took place in New York, and part of the movie is the fact that everywhere they go, it's in New York and it's loud. They're stepping on glass, they're knocking stuff over. It's not like in the other movies where they're in the middle of nowhere and they're walking on sand and dirt and stuff, right? So it's a lot louder than the other movies I've heard in the theater. So it's not like as intense when you're trying to eat your popcorn. I didn't feel uncomfortable eating my popcorn during the movie. But that looks better. It was a very good movie, and I think it's worth the watch. Maybe just watching one time, that's worth the watch. My husband, Slade, he rated this movie 4 out of 5 stars. He really, really enjoyed it. I would give this movie 3 out of 5 stars because of all the things that I mentioned, my little nitpicky things, and I was really hoping for more explanation on the Quiet Place world versus a story about finding pizza. But I think it was a really well done story about finding pizza. I just don't like A Quiet Place Day 1. But, so I hope you're catching what I'm throwing. And yeah, that's what I would rate the movie. So, I I hope you enjoyed this makeup and movies. I did my makeup with this. First time using this. Love it. Yes. Super fun. Really summery. It's so hot outside. But yeah, so thank you so much for showing up to my makeup and movies. I don't know what the next movie I will do will be, but I'm thinking about it. So, with that, let me know down in the comments. Have you seen this movie yet? Are you planning on it? What did you think? Do you agree with my hot takes, my little nitpicky things, or am I being a little too nitpicky for your preference? Did you enjoy it? Would you recommend it to a friend? Would you not recommend it? Was it not your favorite? What do you think of the acting? I would love to chat about it in the comments. I love makeup and I love movies. So I hope you do too. That's why you're here. Okay, with that, if you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much. I love and appreciate you. Give this video a thumbs up if you love videos like this, and I will see you in my next one. Bye! I still